Hello everybody and welcome to week 1 of our life cues. I'm so excited about how many people like the Facebook page. So if that's any anticipation of how many people are following along, I couldn't be happier. So today I was working on preparing my book, and I was also watching Netflix, this series called Happy Valley. It's British. If you haven't seen it, OMG, it is phenomenal. I watched 5 out of the 6 episodes, so I saved the last one for later. It's so good. So I want this whole atmosphere to be really relaxed. I want you guys to have so much fun. If you just want to use a notebook or a scribbler and a pencil to do it, that's okay. Art is art. We are all artists. We're all born to be artists. I've mentioned this many times before. There's a culture in Papua New Guinea where they don't even have a word that specifies an artist from a different person, because they believe everyone is creative and everyone is an artist. So we are all artists. Welcome, my artists, and let's get started on our life cues. So first I'll show you my journal. I showed you that hardcover book that was falling apart, the progressive music book. So I took some napkins, I Mod Podged them on. I then took the binding of the book, the torn part, and I had it in the trash at first, and then I pulled it out and I stamped of 2015 and life cues on the little piece of binding, and then I glued this on. It says life is about creating yourself. I added this really cool, it was just embellishment on top with a key, like it's locked. Put on an elastic band, hair elastic, punched a hole through there, and I left it really loose because I know from experience these books end up getting really, really fat when you're all done, finished playing with them. So I did the insides. I will show you a really quick clip right now of me creating this book so you can see. On the inside here, I Mod Podged 2 of the faces of the cards. So this one here, and then of course the other side is white already, but I put a light layer of Mod Podge there, and on the front of this one here. And this is jelly paper, or like kind of like parchment paper, wax paper, and I'm just putting it on these right now because the pages are still not quite dry, so I didn't want them to stick to anything, so that's why I've done it like that. I bound my book like I told you I was going to with that pamphlet binding and the Christmas cards. Now you can see the stitching down there, and on the edge of it there's just some beads hanging. So I've got my book all ready to go, and when this is all full at the end of the year, I'll have a really neat journal all finished of Life Cues 2015. So, like I mentioned in the introduction video, our first entry is going to be the word that you've chosen to focus on for this year. My word is the word alive. And basically, it's just a word that I want to focus on living a less guarded life, living my life more freely, unedited, just living life to the fullest. And I want to be full and alive at every moment. So, or the best, I like to always follow that up with the best that you can be on any given day. Because some days we, if we're going to be real, we don't always feel 100%, but I want to live the best I can even on those days. You see, this card isn't a huge big one. So I've got this jelly paper behind, which will really help protect the other cards too from any paint or whatever I might do. So I started playing around with a little sketching already, because when it comes to drawing perspective of things, I am just not the best at doing that. So I've got my little sketch over here, and I'm going to try and transfer it here. In my head, this is what I had going on. So the first thing I'm going to do is draw this window. I'm going to do this part first because I want to do a background, but I don't want the background to get in the area where my window is going to be. So I'm just going to pull it down about here. I just can't even tell you how excited I was when I saw how many people had joined on Facebook. Just went ahead and made this journal. And it may appear elaborate to some, but I have a lot of supplies on hand. So I don't want you guys going out spending a ton of money if this is your first kick at the can. Do you know what I'm saying? Use what you've got, work with what you've got, and we'll go from there. You know, like, just give it a try. I don't want that. I guess what I'm saying is I don't want it to discourage you from doing what you want to do, like, or participating in this. I know someone said, oh, I want to do this Life Cues, but I don't do videos, and I don't draw anymore, and I don't do this. Just take your day timer, and if like today's theme is the word you're going to focus on, just write the word all over the page. Doodle, do whatever, anything to just give yourself some time to have that creative outlet. Now I'm trying to recreate what I drew over here. Perspective is my most difficult thing. Like, trying to make something look like I can't. In my brain, it doesn't work that way. Maybe that one's good. I don't know. It's supposed to be a window, but it's not looking like a window. Okay, I'm going to play around with this some more. I'm sure I'll get it, but I don't want you to waste your time watching me try to figure this out. I will get it, and I'll be right back once I figure it out. Okay, I figured it out. What I did, see, this is the sketch I drew. You can see it's like a window and curtains coming down and all that. So what I did is I measured from the top there to that line. It was 4 inches, so I did that. And then this one was 3 inches. And then I got the perspective that I'm looking for right here. So yeah, it wasn't so hard, because I kind of wanted it to be like you're looking out the window that way. Well, yeah, sort of. Anyhow, so first thing I'm going to do is I am going to color my, just going to draw a little bit of a windowsill here. Kind of one of those old kind fashion windows that has a windowsill. And then I'm going to paint my sky blue. And then maybe some grass in the back. Let's give it a little bit of green grass there. And any of you new to watching me work, welcome, first of all. Welcome, welcome. I'm so happy to have you. And I often just create as I go, and I blab a lot. So if you don't want to listen to me talk, well, I don't know what you're going to do, but that's just how I work. There. So this green is called, let's see, Brilliant Yellow Green, and it's by Liquitex acrylic paint. You can use any kind of acrylic paint, dollar store acrylic paints, whatever you want. And I use those often too. This is just the right color of green. I got this at Michael's, this color, and I get Liquitex at Michael's as well. You can get it in any art store or wherever. So I'm just basically drawing a very primitive, childlike picture, and only because that's kind of the best kind of drawings I can do. So I'm trying to stay within my pencil line, because I will go over that later with a bit of a watercolor pencil just to keep it all blended and looking all nice. So get that grass colored, and then I'll color in the sky. So I've gone ahead and painted my little window scene, and then what I'm going to do now, I'm looking for a Sharpie pen. I always have a Sharpie. Hold on. So I've got my ultrafine Sharpie pen. I find this pen, other than the Pitt pens that you buy at art stores, this is by far the best pen for journaling. It's permanent ink. It's got a fine tip. Fantastic. So what I'm going to do is I am going to do a little bit of unusual journaling. I'm going to do all of my journaling back here, all along here. So I'm going to write why I chose the word alive. I hope it writes, yeah. And I'm just going to write down one side and then down the other. Be right back. First, I want to say something about my primitive little window here. So I've got just a little slight curvy line where the grass is and the sky and the sun, and I've done nothing to that yet, but I did really want to separate it from my background. So that's why I painted that first. And then this is inside a supposed kitchen, and I thought, what can I use for wallpaper? My journaling. That's my wallpaper. So I'm just going to take some transparent orange acrylic paint. And if you just have like the cheap acrylic paints, you just want to add water to them, they will become transparent. And transparent because I want to see my writing in the background. And I'm just using this little piece of cardstock here as my palette. I do have a palette, but I'm just too lazy to go get it. Even you can see when I paint over this scribble here, see how I can still see the scribble through? That's what I wanted to happen. I'm even watering it down even more. And that's just going to be my wallpaper. And I just basically wrote all my reasons for why I chose the word alive. And I basically said I don't want to feel that I don't want to feel guarded. I don't want to feel edited by anyone, or more for me, because no one really edits me, but by any situation. And I said most of my time, so much of my time last year was spent in pain, medicated, in surgery, and I don't want to simply survive. I want to live my life. And I said I want to live my life out loud, and that's why I chose the word alive. Because I mean, we all want to live, but I want to live my life out loud. Not to be confused with, I don't want to be an obnoxious, annoying person, but I just want to enjoy. I can't describe it. It's like, instead of just sitting there and listening to people talk, really be interactive with them, be interested, be a good listener, just be, just simply be, but do it on a higher level, you know? So yeah, so that's become my wallpaper in my kitchen, my journaling. And for some of you that seem to be thinking, oh, I'm taking this really back to square one as far as art supplies and stuff, there are some people who are just starting doing this. So just for this first couple of weeks, I'll just be explaining a little bit more than I normally would, okay? And just think, what I am painting on is a Christmas card, which I think is awesome. Awesome sauce, as the kids say. I'm just going to get around that window there, and we'll just let my wallpaper dry. Okay, I took my dark brown Pitt pen. Pitt pens look like this. They're like permanent markers. And I colored the windowsill and along the edge of the window, and then just that little hill there and around the sun. But I'm also going to take, this is a watercolor pencil called Inktense. You can use watercolor crayons, but this is a black one. So I'm just going to go over everything again with this, because I want it to be very kind of defined and give it that kind of smudged look. So I'll go all around there. Not a pretty window. I need something in my window. I might get some stamps out and stamp some flowers and butterflies and whatever I can find. So just go along like that in there. I'm so happy I got the perspective of my window correct to me. Like you got, oh shoot, you guys might think, okay, Monica, that looks kind of wonky. So then I'm going to take my, this brush, these are aqua brushes. You can just use a brush, whoops, can't even see it. You can just use a brush that's been dipped in water, but if you have one of these, you can use them too. I'm just going to wash that off. So what this does is I'm just going to go around where I just put that watercolor. It's kind of too juicy right now. Where I put that watercolor pen, and it's just going to blend it in a little bit and give it a little bit more, like almost like a smudgy charcoal-y look. There. This gives everything a little bit more definition. Whoops. And again, I want you guys to do whatever you want. These are just, this is just what I'm doing. There's no right or wrong way. It's not right, not wrong. It's just Monica's way. Monica's way of journaling her word. And I also still did a heck of a lot of journaling, written journaling on here too. I don't always, but this time I did. There we go. There. Then I've got my little bird. I have a bird here, and I used a Stampin' Up! Punch to punch out a bird. I actually was going to try to draw one, but then I remembered I had this punch. So there's the bird and its little wing I'm trying to pick up here. Right like that. And I inked around them with this Distress ink, just like this. And again, you can take black felt pen or don't do that. And I'm also going to trace around with this little pencil. That same black pencil that I used on the window. I just like when everything is kind of defined with black, the edging, it sharpens everything up a bit. There we go. And take that same brush and do the same thing. I'll just put it over there, and I'll do that to my little wing right here. I just used the reverse, or sorry, not the reverse, a different piece of, I punched the bird out with one piece of paper and punched the wing out with something else just for contrast. There we go. And I'll do the same thing with this brush. Just go around, and it just adds that, you know, just sharper, kind of more artsy look. There we go. Okay, I've got this little tiny stamp of this flower. Whoops, see it? And what I think I'll do is I'll take my black Pitt pen, same kind of pen, really big, and I'm just, you can find these at scrapbook stores, art supply stores. I don't want to stamp the words, I just want the flower. That's why I'm not using ink. So I'm just going to start stamping some of these little flowers all around. And if it doesn't go good the first time, oh well, you just keep doing it. Doesn't matter. It's my personal journal. Yeah, that one's better. Yeah, that gives our background a little bit more happiness, because if I was a bird, I want to live out loud. I want to fly where it looks pretty. And then I think I'll put some butterflies in the background too. Before I show you guys my finished page, I forgot to show you this really cool tool Richard got me for Christmas. It's for squeezing every little drop of paint out of tubes of paint and glue, and sometimes my hair color, I can't get all the stuff out. It's the coolest thing. Isn't that neat? So anyway, here is my finished page. I will zoom out a bit so you can see. So there it is. I made a little valance. Well, I'll zoom in now. I made a little valance curtain here, and because I wanted it to look like a birdie looking outside and thinking, I want to go out there and live. It's so much nicer outside. I don't want to be trapped in here anymore. My life is nice in here, but I want to live outside where I can tweet away. And so the birdie saw the music on the sun there. See those music notes? And I put a what do you call, post-it notes around, so I made them so I could stamp it without getting the ink on the sky, and that's called a mask, making a mask. And there's two little butterflies out there, and flowers and grass, and our little birdie, and she is standing up on a pop glue thing, so it gave her some dimension. And I made her two little feet. And then you saw the journaling around, which is my kitchen wallpaper. And then I wrote the word alive at the bottom in my journaling, but it didn't stand out enough for me to be my word. So I took one of these tickets. They're by Tim Holtz. It said live, and another one said adore. So I cut off the little edge of the live part and just connected it up with the adore and glue it on top, and there I have alive, my word. And the last thing I have to do, which is the most important thing, is dating your work, especially when you're doing something like 52 Qs. You want to remember when you did this. So I am going to put January, let's see, January 3rd, because that is Saturday, and that's when I'm going to try to put them up on Saturdays. So January 3/15. There we go. So I have a date stamp, but it's in the art cabin outside, and there was too much snow for me to go get it. So there you have it. My first page in my art journal. And if you want to, again, I'm using Christmas cards. If you want to just fold cardstock together and staple it and call that your journal, that's great. Whatever you want to do. It's up to you. I just wanted mine all in one spot. So I've got my 13 cards in there, and I think I'm going to keep this in here just to keep, I'm not sure how dry that is, so I'll put that there. And my journal, Progressive of 2015, Life Cues. I don't know if I showed you the little beads. I put gesso on them. They're gold and silver, because everything on here metallic was all kinds of gold, silver. Didn't really match, but I don't care. And my key and my hair elastic to make my little closure. And there you have it, guys. So remember, I'll put the link in the down bar for the Facebook page. So go there and post your work, post your pictures, and I cannot wait to see what you guys do. And don't be intimidated or worrying about, oh, so-and-so did better than me. You know, it doesn't. It's not about that. It's about learning from each other. So, oh, and I didn't read this. It says life is about creating yourself. So that's perfect. It's about creating yourself and going inward and not worrying about what other people think. So thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys all next week. Bye.